Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Man on the Road, formerly known as Bo's Traveling Show with yours truly, Bo Jeffries. Earlier this summer, my cousin and I watched this movie Dazed and Confused, which I was pretty surprised I had never heard of because it's not only directed by a Texan, but also because it had Sacha Jensen in it, and I'm a big Sacha fan. Been watching a lot of his movies since I was a young man. Honestly, the character he plays in this one, Donnie, might be up there with his role in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. It's my favorite Sacha Jensen performance, but that's not really here nor there. The reason I bring it up is we found out that Dazed and Confused was shot all around Austin, and I hadn't been to the capital city in like 6 or 7 years, so we figured we'd take a trip out there and maybe see some locations from the film and maybe even get some photos for my online travel family. To start out, we got some facts about Austin. As I mentioned, it is the capital of the great state of Texas, and I believe the population at this point is just under 1 million head. It's also located at 30 degrees, 15 minutes, and 59 seconds north, and 97 degrees, 43 minutes, and 59 seconds west, which is right about here on our travel map, and I do apologize, I ran out of room for more pins. We started out our trip this time at the Walnut Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant. I thought it would be an interesting stop because it is one of only 2 wastewater treatment facilities that cleans and reintroduces all the water for the entire city of Austin, which is one of the biggest boom towns in the country. So I thought it would make for interesting content, but my Uncle Orenthal actually told me that if I came here and asked for his high school buddy Ernest, that I could probably get a tour, but when I got there, they weren't doing tours because of the coronavirus, and on top of that, they had never heard of anyone named Ernest having ever worked there, so maybe he just got his signals crossed. But I was able to see the outside of the facility, as you can see, and sort of get a whiff of what they're doing there, but unfortunately, no tour this time. That being said, I met a couple real good guys that were working on site, and we got to chatting, and they hooked me up with some deer sausage that they had in the freezer from last season, so honestly saved me from having to track down a meal in Austin, which I was pretty sure was not going to be cheap. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Larry and Waylon. Y'all are truly some of the nicest folks I met in all my travels, and I was not expecting to run into anyone like y'all on my trip to Austin. So it was a real pleasant surprise, and next time I'm out near Cedar Creek, I'll be sure to send y'all a text and we can do some fishing. Here I am in front of one of the Moontowers, like in the Dazed and Confused movie. They say party at the Moontower. My daddy actually started out in lighting, so I know about these for a while. They're actually called arc light towers, and they were real popular in cities across the United States in the early 1900s. Austin actually suggested them in Christmas Day of 1885, and I thought that was a nice holiday memory for the city, but I went on to read that it was because the night before, on Christmas Eve, a year-long series of axe murders culminated in the brutal double homicide of 2 affluent young white women in the heart of modern downtown Austin. So, not quite as festive as I had hoped. Moving on, here I am at Texas Alternator and Starter Service. My family's been doing business with these folks for as long as I've been alive. I didn't have any work to bring them this time, but anytime I'm in Austin, I make sure to swing by and say hello and see how things are going. Unfortunately, they say they've been kind of struggling to keep up in the Amazon era. They say that a lot of people these days would rather just order a new alternator than getting their existing equipment serviced, which to me sounds kind of wasteful. And also, I don't know. I was raised to believe that it's better to support a Texan than some billionaire that doesn't even go here. And the more I think about it, the more I think that Bezos guy probably doesn't know a damn thing about alternator work, so I don't know why you would trust him in this instance, but I don't know, that's not important. The last stop we made on our trip this time was actually at the Forever 21. My baby sister Lynette, when she heard I was coming into Austin, she placed a big order for me to pick up because apparently they recently filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but it was in a part of town that I was real unfamiliar with, and it's grown up a lot since the last time I was in the area. It was pretty easy to get in and out of there on Mopac, but I don't know. Definitely not a place I would recommend everybody needs to go. All that being said, they weren't allowing in-store shopping, but the staff was real friendly whenever I went to go pick up our orders. I got obviously I had to pick up for Lynette, but I got myself a black t-shirt because I wear a lot of black t-shirts. I like to go to wear a lot of black t-shirts when I work around the property because they don't stain as bad, and I tend to go through a lot of them. So I found a cheap one online and just placed an order for pickup, and that's how I got my Cat Daddy half shirt, which I'm not entirely certain I understand the meaning. I think it might be kind of lost on me, but it was pretty cheap, and it fit, and I marked that in the win column on both of those. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Cat Daddy half? Pretty good. I kind of like it. But that was my trip to Austin. I do appreciate y'all watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I will make sure to post the addresses of all the locations I visited in the episode description if you would like to visit those places yourself or just kill some time on the Google Maps. I'd like to remind you to hit that like button like it was the open road. And if you would like to join our small traveling family, go ahead and subscribe. We're not too big in numbers, but we make up for it in miles driven, so for what it's worth, we would love to have you. And I think that's it. Until next time, I'm Bo Jeffries. Catch me outside. How about that? God bless.